In this video, we're going to go over making a box and whisker plot. Now, to make a box and whisker plot, you first have to be able to find most of the measures of variability. So we're going to start by quickly going over the measures of variability. For a more detailed explanation of the measures of variability, you can watch some of the previous videos. Now, to find the measures of variability, I'll start with the range, which is the easiest. It is the distance between the largest and the smallest number. So you do 59 minus 33 and you get 26. Now, to find your quartiles, which are the measures of variability, you first need the median. The median is the number in the middle. Now, I'm quickly just going to mark off, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers on the left. Normally, I would do this a little bit slower, but this is more about the box and whisker. So again, hopefully you already know how to find the measures of variability. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you mark off 7 off each side, you'll see that the median, the number in the middle, is 38. The next thing I'm going to do is that cuts the data into two equal halves, the left side and the right side. The left side are the lower numbers, and again, there are 7 numbers here, so to find the median of those 7 lower numbers, I'll do 3 on the left, and then I'll do 3 numbers on the right, leaving me with a 35 as my quartile. Since it is the quartile for the lower set of data, it is the lower quartile is 35. The numbers on the right, the bigger numbers, are the upper data. So again, there's 7 numbers. I'll mark off 3 pieces of data on the left, the 3 lower ones, 3 pieces of data on the right, which are the 3 larger ones, leaving me with 1 piece of data in the middle, the 44. So the lower quartile is 44. Now, the lower quartile is Q1, the median is Q2, and the upper quartile is Q3. To do a box and whisker, I need those 3 quartiles, Q1, Q2, and Q3. The last measure of variability is the interquartile range, which is the range of the quartiles, the distance between the largest and smallest number. So the largest quartile minus the smallest quartile, 44 minus 35 is 9. Now, to be able to do a box and whisker, I need not only my measures of variability, I'm going to need my quartiles, I'm also going to need the lower extreme and the upper extreme. The lower extreme and upper extreme, which is the smallest number, which is 33, and the largest number, which is 59. So I'm going to take my 3 quartiles, my Q1, Q2, Q3, and my extremes, and with that, I'm going to plot those points. So here I'll write those points down again, and I put a dot at each of those places. The lower extreme, 33, the lower quartile, 35, the median, which is 38, the upper quartile, which is 44, and the upper extreme, which is 59. Now, the 3 middle dots, you make a box around them and a line through the middle, and that is why it's called the box. And then I will draw a whisker out to each end, hence it being called a box and whisker. Now, one of the things you have to know about a box and whisker is that the whiskers are only allowed to be 1.5 times larger than the box. If a whisker is larger than that, you have what is called an outlier. Now, the size of the box is why we do the interquartile range. Remember, it's a distance between the smallest and largest quartiles. It's the distance from the largest quartile to the smallest quartile. That is 9. So your interquartile range is 9. A whisker is allowed to be 1.5 times that size. So to find any outliers, you take your 9 and multiply it by 1.5. If you do so, you get 13.5. One number after the decimal, you move your decimal over 1. That 13.5 is the max distance your whiskers are allowed to be. Your lower whisker goes from 33 to 35. That's only 2 in length. But your upper whisker goes from 44 to 59. That is 15 in length. But the whisker is only allowed to be 13.5. That means you have an outlier. So what we do with that is we erase our whisker and we find the next biggest piece of data. The next biggest piece of data after the 59 was 54. We put a dot at 54 and we redraw our whisker. Now we're going from 44 to 54. That is only 10 in length. The old dot gets erased and you put a star in its place. And that is how you have your box and whisker.